That'll happen to me too. Like my videos will they'll come back in a wave. I'll get like another 1,000 views.
Apparently, the word on the street is because Zuckerberg is really trying hard to get Instagram Reels to catch up to TikTok. Mm-hmm. So they're like blowing up Reels. Apparently, that's like Instagram's marketing strategy right now. Is like Meta's trying to, because they need Reels for like the Metaverse to function or as a feature of the Metaverse. I don't know the exact details.
Powered by Instagram.
Essentially, something along those lines.
It's the fuel of the.
And they're trying. Well, because in order for like Meta to work, they need to essentially beat TikTok at their own game, or else people are just gonna be there. So they're like Instagram Reels is like their direct competitor to TikTok.
So they're throwing you a bunch of likes to get you hyped up.
I don't know if it's just me. I feel like we're all getting a little bite of this.
Yeah, I got a little bite of it today. I was like, oh, people are finding my stuff. Things are looking up.
Yeah, I haven't posted in a few days on TikTok, and like some of my old videos are just coming back, getting like I think I gained like 50 followers today just for out of like I was like I haven't posted anything. I was like, man, they're battling for my attention.
War, yeah.
It's serious out there.
What's your highest like count or view count on yours, Ben?
Not even a lot. Probably like 8,000-9,000 on one or something like that. 8 or 9K. Like I don't even think it's that many. I was just surprised because I posted this like a while ago, like weeks ago. So.
Yeah, one of mine has 12, I think. I was pretty excited about that.
Oh, you fans. Hey, and welcome back to the LonelyMans podcast. Hey, man, making a podcast takes a lot of time and effort, man. Reward that work and effort that we put in by following us on YouTube at LonelyMans Podcast on YouTube.
Subscribe to the Patreon. Support the podcast with real money at patreon.com/LonelyMans.
For bonus episodes.
And make sure you check out our merch at teespring.com/LonelyMansPodcast.
Get yourself a hoodie or a fanny pack or whatever you guys want. All right.
Back to the show. Peace. And we back. We got a special guest with us today.
The loneliest man.
Mr. Nick Ceppaglia. What's going on, Nick?
What up?
Welcome to the podcast.
Dude?
Thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to Drinking Water with the LonelyMans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Your podcast is like 60 seconds, right?
Yeah, I would think I like to think of it more of as like a show, more than the podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone has podcasts. I mean, I even have a podcast, Playing Pussy with Matt and Nick on Spotify.
Hell yeah, dude.
But
love the early plug.
Shameless.
No, you gotta plug early. They stop listening after 5 minutes.
Yeah, everyone already dropped out, dude. Our retention rate is trash.
But yeah, I got I wanted something that I could put out content. When I first moved here, because I just obviously didn't know anybody, and everybody that I was meeting was like, they were like putting content out weekly, every few days. And I was like, I just need something that'd be silly and easy to do that I like to enjoy. And it just started with me sitting in front of that window, just looking out the window, drinking some coffee. The camera's here. Like, hey, how's it going? And then say like, oh, it's sunny outside. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Like, bye. And I did that twice, and then Ben Howard was like, dude, I would love to come on and be like a guest or something. I was like, I have 2 mics. I could do a guest. Like, yeah, fuck it. So we tried it. And then we brought him over, and he's like, yeah, come over. And then we went through it, and I was like, all right, that's it. And he was like, wait, are you serious? I was like, yeah, that's all. It's going to be under 60 seconds. Like,
yeah, someone the other day was like, oh, yeah, I did drinking coffee with Nick. And I was like, what'd you do with the other like 23 hours and 55 minutes of your day?
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes people ask, like, how long is this all going to take? Like, and I was just like, oh, it's going to take 5 minutes. And then it'll probably take us another 15 minutes to finish the coffee and just bullshit and hang out. And it turned into like a really organic way to just like, make new friends, make content for myself and other people, like just at the same time. Just I think everybody wins by doing it, and it's so silly and so dumb that it's like. Oh,
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Do you keep the cameras rolling the whole time, or do you only film like a few minutes of it?
Just like the first 5 minutes, I'll like I like film it, and then I roll through it through like the takes, and then after that I just turn it off, and then we just sit there and bullshit. And it's it's great because I've gotten closer with a lot of different people, like to just getting to know like actual time to get to know me, because
that's where like the real content is, when you're just bullshitting with a comic after you're done doing something. That's always the best shit. You're like, fuck, we should just turn this into a podcast.
Yeah, but I'm kind of lazy too, so I was like, I don't want something that's gonna take a lot of editing time. You know what I mean?
60 seconds is like perfect too, because you can post it on everything. There's no like you don't have to worry about anything. It's like this is perfect timing to just be done with it.
Yeah, it's fun. Eventually, like I would like if when like some notoriety comes from it or something, then eventually I might make it longer and turn it into an actual like thing. But for now, I think just a little dumb, stupid, fun content promos are amazing.
Yeah, comedians in houses staring at windows drinking coffee, bro. This idea seems like it.
We should do a 5-minute podcast. We do this hour every week just for me to get maybe 3 Instagram reels out of it.
Yeah. We should just do 3
separate
see, I'm
I'm skipping the whole thing. I'm just making the reels.
Yeah, we should just make the Instagram reel.
We just make clips that look like we do a podcast, but our podcast never goes past 7 minutes.
That's what Jeffrey does. Jeffrey Eggleston. He has like a fake podcast, and it's just like really like high production, and it looks just like podcast clips, but there's no actual podcast.
I was trying to explain that to somebody. I'm like, yeah, he and Sean Riley did a fake podcast. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, they sit in front of microphones and like just like script the whole thing. They're like, isn't that a podcast? I'm like, no, it doesn't.
How long
it doesn't actually exist. They're like, but it does. It's on video. So isn't that a podcast?
It's just a 5-minute podcast.
Because it's clips like out of context. Like they're pretending to like tell long stories and stuff. I think it's genius.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea. I thought I was gonna. I thought about just if I made my TikTok, I was just gonna do clips of the TikTok of me just saying random things and then just audience responses, but never say what I said. It's always just me being like, so, and then it's just like reactions of people dying, and then never explain what I said or anything like that. That'd be the whole clips, just me.
I think
that'd be pretty funny.
Lucas did something like that too, where he just said like
the last.
He just said the last word of his punchline, and then like no contents at all, and it was just like balls, Jesus, cocksucker. You know, like it's just like I thought that was pretty genius.
Yeah, that's pretty good actually.
You should get a TikTok though.
Holly's stand-up clips with the Def Jam audience. Or like that at the Apollo.
Old Arsenio audiences. Woo, 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 woo,
yeah.
Just Martin Lawrence rolling on the audience jumping out. But I love it specifically for Holly if it's all black audiences every time.
Yeah, it will be. It's
you wouldn't think I would do well in black rooms, but I actually do.
No, I think you would. I just don't think you would be doing a predominant amount of your shows in black rooms. That wouldn't be.
Just all my clips are just only edited to be in black rooms.
I had an idea of I think it'd be funny to take actors and put them and like take all their movies and put them out of context to tell a story. Like for example, the Keanu Reeves, John Wick, how he became to be, his back origin story. He was just running around with his boys smoking weed. And then he took the red pill. He ended up in the Matrix. And, he decided they need to be a better person, so he started coaching kids in hardball. And then G-Baby got shot. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen 2001's Hardball. And that's when he lost it and became John Wick. He just put him in
but then he wins the football game at the end.
At some point. Yeah, you could add in. I feel like you could do funny shit like that with a lot of like
all his origin stories scenes will be from like Bill and Ted though.
Yeah, the beginning when he was running around.
When I was younger, it just clips back to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, he's like, I just wanted to be a quarterback. It's him in The Replacements. He's like throwing football and stuff. Yeah, it'd be funny to do shit like that. There's so much you can do with this interwebs. But I feel like the more that you can do like videos and cut stuff and just like make things, like the more that anyone can do it, which kind of makes it a lot harder to, I don't know, to kind of like make it different if anyone can just create anything.
Oh, on TikTok, the harder you try, the bigger of a loser you are.
Yeah.
Everyone that's like successful on there now does the bare minimum.
Those reaction videos make me so angry.
Where someone's just eating and watching somebody else's
literally just someone going. And it has like 4 million views.
Maybe I need to get on TikTok. This seems like my thing. You're talking about minimal effort. This is
I mean, I did the same thing.
Kill on TikTok.
You would crush with reaction videos. Just you furrowing your brow.
That's bullshit.
You don't even have to talk.
I like it. I'm just gonna be in there.
Yeah, I made one a couple months ago, and it was. I'm glad I did it because it was just like my comedy clips. Like they never really got all that big on Instagram, but like some of my comedy clips are at like 800,000, 500,000 views, like 250,000 views for like stand-up clips just
on TikTok.
On TikTok, and all I did was just post them. I just took the videos off my Instagram and put them on my TikTok, and then they're just like
We're gonna do that with the LonelyMans soon. We're gonna expand our brand over there.
Yeah, we should meet. We should have a TikTok day where we get on the Lonely Man crew gets on TikTok, and then we put a TikTok of us
We
making a
could just
TikTok.
do like a production video. I like how we're just talking about other podcasts we're gonna make while we have a guest here. So organized.
Nick, thanks for helping us plan our brand strategy.
Yeah, no worries. Anything to get this up and running for you guys.
We had a marketing meeting a couple weeks ago with this girl that works on like social media marketing and content marketing, and Ben had a coffee and started a new business by the end of the meeting.
That we never followed up on.
He's like, "This is happening. I'm going to get the business cards tomorrow."
I don't know if you know this. It's still happening. This is still much in the process.
Are the wheels in motion?
The wheels are still in motion. I've been doing a lot of work
it felt
behind
like
the
wheels
scenes.
kind of like went off track.
No, Caroline. I just went out of town, and then she went back out of town. So
Yeah.
we just hadn't had time to meet up. But
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a few weeks.
It's still happening. That's what happens when I drink coffee. It's like cocaine. I'm just like, dude, you want to invest in this business, dude?
That's me when I drink coffee too.
That's me when I do cocaine.
Yeah.
That's everybody.
That's how this podcast started.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Start a podcast.
Yeah. And what if it's like OnlyFans, but it's like, dude, but it's like a play on that?
Oh, lonely. I get it.
I
get it.
You get it now?
Yeah, I get it.
They changed their logo, but everyone still knows our logo is the OnlyFans logo.
That's funny.
That's how like strong their brand was.
Wait, so they did change they changed the logo, but they still kept it to where they're still allowing titties and like nudity on there, right?
Yeah,
Or did they
dude, that
change
was
it?
a whole psyop that they tried to play on us. They were like, "We're taking
Well,
away the
originally
porn."
I heard it was like when they first made it, it was supposed to be for like artists and
Oh,
like
yeah.
music people. like-
Technically, they're
Patreon?
artists.
Yeah, I think it was a Patreon competitor.
yeah, it was like a Patreon competitor kind of thing. Yeah,
They
It was
But
supposed-
I found out about it years ago just through porn stars' Instagram accounts. So like that's been their bread and butter since the beginning.
That's how the internet blew up. Was
that's
because
how
of porn, right?
that's how porn stars are sticking it to the industry, like comedians are with like YouTube specials and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and like making fuck you.
That's
fuck the
that's what it
industry.
is essentially, right? Because
Yeah.
you don't have to get be on one of the main companies that own everything. You just run your own shit.
Dude, there's women out there that make millions of dollars a month.
Oh, bro, there's so
A
many
month.
of them.
Yeah,
Like-
Bad Baby made like $1 million a week almost.
That's the Cash Me Outside girl, right?
Yeah.
The Cash Me Outside girl made, what is it, like 33 million or some bullshit
No, it was
like
like
that?
50 something.
50 million from OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Was
In
she
her
showing?
first year?
Was she like showing some nudity? Was she sucking some D's on there?
She might have a nip or two out, but I don't think there's anything else.
Really?
No VJ, nothing.
$1 million and you didn't even show your VJ?
Nah.
She didn't even catch it outside.
How about that?
I think people might be like
There's
holding
the
on
first
to like
reaction
the
video.
hope.
What's up?
People might be holding on to hope that she will post nudes on there eventually.
Isn't it like the whole Bella Thorne thing? Like she went on there and she's like, and then she said she was gonna show like a titty or something, and she never did, and she just made like 20 million in one day or some bullshit
I don't
like
think
that.
she promised anything. It's just that
I think
like
she just said I got an OnlyFans, and
Yeah.
then she put like a really high subscription from what I heard. Like,
Yeah.
and then like I heard it just like it fucking pissed off a bunch of
I think
people.
I think she crashed the OnlyFans server, like because so many people jumped onto OnlyFans and bought her shit. Like it fucked up OnlyFans like server, like it crashed the shit.
yeah, but
Yeah,
isn't
she
she
made
just
it-
like a dirty hippie white girl
Yeah, pretty much.
from like
essentially,
Disney,
yeah.
Yeah, she's
like the Disney Channel?
she's like the ginger of the Disney Channel. There's always one crazy redhead on Disney Channel. You
Yuck.
need one.
That would be pretty cool if you could like invest in OnlyFans people like stocks. Like you just see them going like up and down in value every day. Like a little like what's that thing called? The
The
little
ticker, the stock,
little
the
ticker.
OnlyFans ticker. You're like, oh no.
Oh,
She's-
she dropped a few points. She must not have went to the gym last week.
Yeah, I checked out her new content. It's not going anywhere. We need it quick. I mean,
She started boiling potatoes. Like,
honestly, if you started one that could probably chart it in like fucking cryptocurrencies, turns out pretty much all crypto coins that come out now are all a scam. Did you guys hear about this?
Luna.
Did you hear about this lawsuit? Like a bunch of celebrities are all getting named in this lawsuit for just pumping and
there's
dumping
this
a bunch of
one.
crypto.
crypto.
It's the Fire Festival of crypto.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's
like,
which ones
Is it
are?
Safe Moon?
I can't remember which one this one, but I know it was like Kim Kardashian was listed on it, like Matt Damon, like some NBA players, like a bunch of different people.
It might be Safe Moon. That there's a pretty huge lawsuit coming for that one, because like it was a coin that was supposed to be safe and it was going to go to the moon safely. and then they just like all the money disappeared.
Yeah, they scam some people. Out
Yeah,
and like
Yeah.
all these celebrities like were just tweeting out the word SafeMoon. So I don't know if they'll be included in the lawsuit, but
It's about time we need to start suing more rich people. What I'd like to see though is those monies come back to us after you sue rich people.
I know.
Because where does that money actually go?
To the lawyers.
Just like a stimulus check from like like a celebrity.
Yeah, well, we need that
Pretty
because I feel
sick.
like lawyers get like 10% of whatever they do, but like the rest of that money, apparently, if it's done by like the federal government most of the time, or like a state government, whatever entity does the suing, they get to keep the money and just use it however they want to. Which I'm like, that's a pretty good deal. Like,
They
you
never throw pizza parties either. Fucking assholes.
no ice cream floats around here. Not enough of those.
what if they just invested all back into cryptocurrency again?
Back in the safe.
They put it in Bitcoin because it's the safest one.
To the moon. God, I feel like at some point all cryptocurrencies in like 4 years are going to be worth like nothing. And there's going to be like 2 that have any value and the rest of them are just going to be like dead.
I hope it's XRP.
I'm holding out hope.
And all the precious metals kids are gonna be so excited when crypto crashes. They're gonna throw a party.
Oh my God. Those fucking nerds. Are you in investments? Are you into like crypto or anything like that?
I've had some. I'm completely like out of stocks and crypto right now. Like the market tanked, and like luckily all the money that I had in there was just like profit off of my initial investment, which I had already taken out. So I took everything out this year. I'll probably have to pay a little bit on taxes, but I'm not sure if I want to. I'll probably get back into some kind of stocks. I mean, I have like my Roth IRA and stuff like that, mutual funds and stuff.
So
but
you
that's
get
like,
other stuff that comics don't even know about.
yeah.
Holly's very confused. Did you say IRA? What is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, I have no idea.
yeah. Well,
I bought everything at the height, and I can't get out now.
yeah.
I'm leaving it in there, dude.
I have to believe in this.
I bought Bitcoin at 55,000, so we're in it.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
We're gonna stick it out.
R.I.P.
Just buy more. Just start buying as
Yeah.
much more as you can while it's as low as possible.
I should.
Yeah, dollar cost
Buy low,
averaging,
sell
bro.
high.
Yeah,
Well,
but now
Bitcoin's
I'm
like what they say.
broke.
Bitcoin's like died like over 200 times in the last like 15 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bitcoin's at what, like 28,000? At some point, it was at like 60-something thousand. So
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Dogecoin? Is that still going?
I had a lot of that, and that was just a bust. You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of those things. Well, anything that's made off of a meme featuring a dog, it can't have that much business value.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be like, this is what it.
Or
No.
the picture of an ape.
Oh, I was just gonna say that.
Ape coin.
Bape coin?
Ape coin.
Oh, you know what? The new grift right now is the NFTs. That's the real grift.
That's what we're talking about.
Bape the coin is an NFT.
You don't know about
The ape NFT. It's
You
like
don't know
a
about Bored
cartoon
Apes?
monkey.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. I thought you were talking about the cryptocurrency.
Well, now they turned it.
Wait, they turned it. They
they-
turned into ape coin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
there's
came out with
an
ape coin, and it like plummeted immediately the first day.
As it should, because it's
Yeah.
worth nothing.
Started throwing poop
Everyone that got a Bored
everywhere.
Ape received the coins, so they immediately sold it all as soon as it was released.
Yeah.
So then everyone else that invested got fucked.
Yeah, that's how a lot of those things work. You pump it up, then you dump it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone who buys I found this out, anyone who gets like stock of like a new IPO or whatever coming out, you're definitely gonna get fucked in the ass, like because a lot of people that got the stocks like already, they're just like people that work for the company and people that were paid in stock options for work they did for the company before that.
Yeah.
So they're already in there. They're just waiting for suckers to buy in, and they're like, "Gotcha, bitch," and then they just sell out. So anyone who buys in stocks, like they'll shoot up because everyone's buying in this new hot stock, and then they'll drop after all the people that already had it sell their shit, and then everyone else is just left holding the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one big fucking crock of just
I
yeah.
just want to turn my paintings into NFTs and sell them and just collect.
Bro, you can. Like this
Yeah.
one dude, he's never done a podcast before, but he recorded a podcast in the Metaverse. His first episode ever. Turned his Metaverse podcast recording into an NFT, broke it down into 7 pieces and sold it for $12,000.
Nothing's real.
Yeah, none of it is real. Like
Yeah.
this is bullshit. You just
Why are people clocking in? There's
Well,
literally
I
a guy.
also heard that there's this guy who built like a museum in the metaverse, like a plot of land like in there, and then he actually charges rent to people who want to hang up their NFTs in his museum.
Yo,
Ooh.
I'm telling you, the metaverse is the metaverse is the place right now.
How do you get in there? How do you
I
get
don't-
into the
I don't know how to
metaverse?
find it,
Through
but-
your eyes. you gotta
Is it like a VR thing?
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
gotta
be a
up.
nerd, but
How do you do stand up in the metaverse?
same way you do stand up.
Actually, you do it just like this. You have an Oculus on. Nobody's around you, and you're looking
You
at
just
car. You're
stand
you're
in
in a,
line and wait for your turn.
No, they got like clubs. In
yeah.
there.
You'll go.
you
Your
gotta get
avatar.
booked.
Your avatar will go hang out in the green room and get shit faced and like.
And then you come on stage drunk, but you haven't been drinking. You're just drunk in the metaverse. Your avatar's
so
wobbling.
weird.
Yeah, but apparently, like people are buying real estate in the metaverse now. Like you can buy like land space and like
Everything we're talking about is old news, and people have already made all of the money off of it right now.
it's already
Yeah, if we know about
I
it, it's
can't even
old news.
afford real estate
Yeah.
here.
This is like months ago.
The real.
People were trying to buy like land next to Snoop Dogg's house for like millions of dollars.
Yeah.
In the Snoopiverse.
In the Snoopiverse.
the Snoopiverse.
He's
Yeah,
got a
you don't know about the
Snoopiverse.
Snoopiverse?
Dude,
I'm trying-
there's the metaverse, but there's also other
There's-
verses like
Yeah.
everywhere, dude.
This is
Like,
mad.
It's
I'm
the
tr-
multiverse.
Can I
Some
get into
hook
the
up.
Sniffles verse?
Maybe.
Is this
Yeah,
where
the
the
Sniffies verse?
the Sniffies verse? That's
course.
what about the Grinder verse? That'll be.
Nick, we talked to everyone about this app, Snippies.
What's that?
Sniffies. It's a gay dating app that's so wild that it's not even on the App Store. You have to go on your browser to get to it.
Oh, I heard
Pretty
about this
intense.
on a podcast. Yeah, I heard
And there's a whole like gay metaverse going on around us right now.
yeah, I heard about that. That's wild.
It's crazy that there's an app that makes Grinder look PG. It's just like Grinder. No, this is real shit.
We gotta get John Rice out here. John Rice is my roommate. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, if you pull up to Sniffy's house, there's actually someone out under this couch that's willing to
He's gonna
lick
hear
your-
the word sniffies and come running
Yeah.
like when you shake the treat jar.
I don't know
of
if
the
he's been
dog.
on there lately. Yeah, he hasn't told me any stories, but I don't know. We should all go on there and just catfish gay dudes for TikTok. Oh, that could be our TikTok.
Catfish and gay.
We
That
catfish
sounds
gay
like a
guys on
hate crime.
Sniffies.
That sounds.
Hey, the newest,
It's Pride
the
Month,
newest thing I
Jesse.
saw on
You can't
TikTok that I'm like
fool the
kind of
gays.
halfway obsessed with is have you seen these guys playing Google Maps?
How do you play Google Maps?
It's wild. So these
Sounds like it.
no, it's fucking wild. So these I've only seen this one guy's TikToks. I forget what his name is, but it's just video of him sitting in front of his computer, and they show him a picture for a few seconds, and then he's like, "Oh, that's somewhere in Portugal," and he'll go and click on Google Maps and hit Portugal, and the other person will do the same thing, and then they measure who was closer to where that is. But dude, they get fucking super close sometimes, like within 50 miles of like where the actual picture was taken, and all they get is a picture of like some scenery,
And they don't know where it's at.
and they don't know anywhere in the world.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
and
Okay.
it's pretty just to watch it. I'm like, this one guy was doing it, and he's like, I'm gonna do this in 0.01 seconds. So the picture flashes for 0.01 seconds, and then he plays, and it's these guys, and like you get points for whoever's closest, and these guys are like playing a game.
What is their
versus each other.
strategy? Because it's not just a guessing game.
Dude, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how these guys know where these places are at. But
Yeah.
it's like it's pretty ridiculous. Like it's
Because then they just mess around in like Street View and stuff.
no, it's not even Street View. They just
It's
get
Google
shown
Earth.
an image, and then they have to pick where they think it is on the map in the
Yeah.
world, and then they click it, and then the other guy will do it, and then it shows where each one of them clicked, and then
Yeah.
it shows where the picture was, and whoever was closer gets the point.
Is there any
Whoa.
gambling on here? Because I feel like this is rife for gambling money.
Yeah,
You
it
just-
definitely could be.
oh, guaranteed. Just be like, yo, who you got? Put some money down. That would be a fun game to gamble on because there's no skill required for that. That's just.
I mean,
Is there?
maybe autism.
Yeah, like the photographic memory.
Like they showed one picture out of it all where I'm like, oh, that's Rome because the Colosseum's clearly in the picture. But some of these other pictures are just like old dirt roads with the tree. And they're like, oh, that's somewhere in Paraguay. You know, you're like, what?
My travels to Paraguay. I remember.
Yeah, I'm like,
Like,
okay.
That's
that could be
crazy.
Texas.
So I don't know if it's just their knowledge of like, because I mean, sometimes you'll see buildings and like buildings on the size of, but it'd be like the same exact thing if I just took my phone, walked out that door, snapped a picture of outside, just no zoom, nothing, and then it showed him the picture, and you'd be like, oh, that's somewhere in America.
Yeah. Man, that's a trip. That'd be great. That'd be a fun drinking game.
Yeah, and I think it has to do with they might just know a lot about like like architecture and the history of architecture and what places the different types are.
So there's some fucking nerds.
Or like trees.
Yeah, I mean, when you
things.
look at this dude, he's definitely sickly and skinny and like
He's just
sits
clicking
on a
around
computer
on Google
all
Maps
day.
all day.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like the healthiest person.
That
you go-
sounds familiar.
Do you go outside of these places? God, no. I'd never leave the house. But
No.
just watch it.
I thought when you said they play Google Maps, they were gonna be on their phone on Google Maps, and they just like put in a random location and just like walk to it or something.
Yeah, I thought they
don't
like
know.
had to go to the location.
Yeah.
No.
It's
like a scavenger
hunt.
Kind of
Yeah.
like the geotagging, the scavenger hunt geotagging.
Geocaching.
Geocaching, yeah.
Is that this geocaching where people like show up to a location and they put like stuff in a box and like hide it in that location?
Yeah.
I just found out about that when I moved down here. I didn't know that was like a thing that people did. And then
Yeah.
What do they do? They
That's
put
old
things
school
in a
internet
box.
it's like back in like when internet was first like a thing, like on message boards and stuff, people would put out like locations and specific like hikes or mountains or whatever. And it just did, and then people would leave like a surprise there.
Yeah.
Usually like a box, they'd put little
They
trinkets
give
in
you
there
the
or whatever.
latitude and the longitude.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a treasure hunt. You go and you'll find
Oh.
like a box at a certain in some like off some hike or in some office building area, and like you'll find the box and you'll take what's out of there, like and like you take what's in the box out and keep
And then
it, and then you just replace it with something else. Or
Oh,
you
that's
put something
fun.
else in there.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's called geocaching. My little brother does it, and sometimes he does some videos of it. And I don't know if he's done it recently, but I know he was into it for a while.
He hides the boxes.
He just goes and finds the boxes and puts stuff in it.
A lot
What
of
does
them
he
are
put
already
in
there.
them?
Probably like just little trinkets or probably little action figure toys or.
Yeah, there's a lot of random shit in there. I went geocaching with this girl. She was super into. She's like, my family used to do this when we went on road trips. So then we took a trip to find some geocaching shit. I was like, man, you're a nerd.
What was in the box?
The first one had a bunch of like little figurines in there and a little like stickers and little cards like that. Just little
Yeah.
simple things. And like Lisa Frank pencils and erasers and shit. Like it was in like this little box. So
We
we
could
felt
put one of the little rubber duckies from the Lucky Duck in there.
We
Yeah,
put a-
exactly. Stuff like that.
we put
Put
a
in
little,
like fake help notes, like "Help me, you're keeping me at this," and then give him another address to go to. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm locked in this
over
basement
here.
at the
Just lead 'em on a wild
2234
goose
West
chase.
Street.
Yeah, that's some
Leave a
saw
skeleton
shit.
somewhere.
Yeah.
We left little T-Rex dinosaur things in there. I was like, that's a pretty solid leave out here. One of them we had to find on this hike. It was like in the woods underneath this tree and shit. Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh shit, some of these are intense. Like one of them was like the top of a hike, and like you had to hike up the whole mountain just to reach this little box. I was like, I'd never even heard of this. There's so much shit that white people do that I just had no idea about, and geocaching is one of them.
I never heard of it either.
Which is surprising to me. I feel like your family was the one that did it on road trips. Yeah, this would have been like
I remember hearing about that on like Tech TV back in the day.
Tech TV.
Yeah, then it became the G4 network.
I was about to say that's all I remember. G4. Shout out to Olivia Munn.
Yeah, dude. Why are you doing R.I.P.? She's still alive.
Yeah, but
No, he was blessing her spirit.
he gets it. All right.
Oh, that's a blessing. I thought that was like you do that when someone's dead.
nah.
No, people do that. I was walking down the street and I caught this lady doing it like at a restaurant eating dinner by herself. I saw her through the window and they set her plate down. She was like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah, as a sign of
Nice.
the cross. That's
No,
what
it's-
people do before they eat.
Yeah, it's a blessing. I know, I
Yeah,
get it, but I
yeah.
was like, it was still just funny to see it.
My favorite time when people do it is after they hit a home run. Like I don't know why baseball
Oh.
players will like hit a home run. They'll just be like, like, all right, dude.
You never done it after a good set.
Oh,
You should do that while you're putting the mic in the stand.
Right before I bomb.
Oh, yeah, do it when you come out on stage.
I'm gonna do it opposite though. Like when I go on stage before I say anything, I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna start at my balls and then go up to my head and then do the cross and then down the seat and be like, "What's up, dude?"
Just grab your balls afterwards. Send
Let's
a
do this.
message.
Send a message.
Sign of the.
So you guys like
Cocks.
religion?
Yeah, who here goes to church?
When I played baseball, like in elementary and middle school, there was a kid on another team that like before every pitch he would do that.
Do you think this is
Like
recording?
every single pitch, he'd pitch it and then get the ball back and pitch it again, and like so. I
Was
mean,
he good?
I mean, he was a good pitcher, but I mean, like I still hit.
No, the
You
video.
know.
Did the blessings work? What are you doing?
No, because I still.
We're not taking any chances
Is
now.
Holly just being paranoid?
It hasn't been recording this whole time.
Oh, well, that's what happened yesterday, so like it's right for us to be paranoid.
We're trying to take some preventative measures
Oh,
here.
nice. But I remember I would, how like when you're at the plate, you can like he's getting ready to pitch and you can like put your hand out and say stop, don't pitch. And you like, I'd put my hand out to him, and then like it just.
Just
You get so mad. And they try and like strike me up. I'd end up like messing with them.
Were you like a big athlete, or did you just kind of play to play?
Like in second grade, I got a flyer at school to play baseball. I told my mom I wanted to do it inside. She took me, and I ended up like the first year was like the worst because I wasn't very good. But then like I just kind of like over summer practiced with friends in the street and just kept practicing catching and hitting and all that. And then I played it from I played it from second grade to like 8th grade, and then I found skateboarding, and then it was like done with coaches. I was like, I'm going to skate.
Dude, hell yeah, that's why I skateboard. I never liked authority figures.
Yeah.
At all. Like I realize like everything I do, it's like skateboarding, bouldering, stand-up comedy. Like there's no boss around you. It's like they're all like solo endeavors.
Yeah.
Were you good at skateboarding?
Mm-hmm.
Once I found skateboarding, and then we found weed, and we all quit skateboarding. We would skate to the skate park and go in the woods and smoke weed and just hang out all day.
Were you ever able to do like cool shit, like tricks and shit?
Yeah, I was cool. I was sponsored by a couple like local skateboard shops back home.
Oh shit!
And I mean, I skated like pools and bowls and mini ramps, and I didn't do a lot of street skating or anything like that. But I was good, like good enough to like.
Where are you from originally?
From California.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Skating bowls like the Lords of Dogtown out here.
Yeah,
Yeah. What part of California?
Fresno.
Hell
It's
yeah,
like
dude.
directly in the middle of the agricultural center.
Yeah.
So do you partake in those activities that are prevalent in your area?
Marijuanas?
Yeah, the trees.
Yeah, I do. I love trees.
I feel like everyone I know
I'm
from
a tree hugging hippie.
everyone I know from Cali is super big. Like I don't know anyone from Cali. Well, I can't say anyone, but most people I meet from Cali are like, yeah. But then most people that smoke weed, but most people I meet in like Boston or like East Coast, a lot of them are they're not really their style. It's like I don't know if it's like a coastal thing, but I found there is
What's
a
not their
difference.
style? Smoking weed?
Yeah, like a lot of people I met in the East
Everyone
Coast, like
everywhere smokes weed now.
but a lot of people, it's like not here in Texas, not comparatively. Like when I was in Colorado, everybody smoked weed. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't meet a person that didn't smoke weed. Like here, I meet a lot of people in Texas that don't
Yeah.
smoke weed.
A
Like,
lot of people in Massachusetts smoked weed.
I mean, there's people out there that don't smoke weed in California. It's just there's a lot of people that do.
Yeah.
Smoke.
yeah, there's just a lot of there's some losers somewhere.
Do you
but-
still skate? Do you have any boards down here?
I don't have any boards or anything like that. I've been thinking about it. I'd like to like start skating like a mini ramp at least. Again.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be so much fun.
There's a big skate park down here, I think close to this neighborhood.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I saw one a while ago, and it was pretty close in this area. Like I
Yeah.
think it was a little more south, but
Yeah, they're like huge concrete parks.
yeah, that's what I used to I used to live at the skate parks like on the weekends and stuff with my friends. And
Yeah.
We should get one of the videos of you skating and put it in the put it on the green screen.
Yeah, this was way before like cell phones had good cameras. You know, this was like before the iPhone and shit. Like,
Oh.
you know, like
so they're
Yeah,
like blurry.
There's
Yeah.
no footage of me skateboarding at
I just
all.
got pictures. Yeah, I just have some pictures and stuff.
Is that just because you were doing drugs in the woods?
I had a few tricks. I could like 50-50 a box. I could kickflip for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm also 50-50 on box. Like, I don't know about this one.
depends on the box.
Exactly. But wait, so what year did you graduate high school?
2005.
2005. Okay, so yeah, so you're like, because I graduated.
I'm 35. Yeah.
You're 35. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna be 35 this year.
Yeah,
so
Jesse's turning
we're the same
35.
generation, dude.
Nice. Hell
yeah, so we're
We both got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and we're like, this is what I'm
Yeah, and then Skate came out, and you're like, man, fuck Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. That game sucks.
Skate
dick.
was way too hard for me,
Dude, I don't know. Like Skate 1, Skate 2, Skate 3 came out, and it was just like I could never play Tony Hawk again after playing Skate. It
Yeah.
was just like it was.
Skate, I was like, I might as well just go learn how to actually skateboard if I'm gonna spend this much time.
Well, the fucked up part about that game is like once you figured it out, like the joystick like kicks and stuff and how to do it, it like made you feel like you could go do that in
Yeah.
real life. And then I'm like, I still can't 360 flip like to save my life, you know? Like
it's the same shit like when people play Call of Duty and now they all think they're fucking like superheroes. Like, yeah, dude, I would have fucking went in there and blew that dude up. Like, bro, you've shot a gun in a fucking video game. It doesn't mean you can go into a fucking situation and handle a gun, but people have the same mentality.
The only
with this
one
shit.
where like the skill actually transfers is the flight simulator. Have you ever seen the video of the dude that stole the plane from the airport that he worked at in Washington State?
No.
It's absolutely insane. He just played flight simulators for years. Got a simulator for the plane that he worked on, and then one day he stole the plane and then he flew it into a deserted island off the coast of Washington State.
Did they catch him?
No. Well, they sent out like fighter jets and shit, but they wanted the plane back. And he's like, yeah, hold on. I just want to see what this thing can do. And he did big, like, loop-de-loops in the sky with the plane. It did barrel rolls and shit.
All just playing off a flight simulator?
Yeah, just purely off the flight simulator.
Yeah,
I think that was
that's
first...
not a game. It's a simulator. Like,
Yeah.
It's not Call of Duty Modern Simulator. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, with those, like, actually, yeah, I guess you don't have to, like, physically reload the guns and stuff.
you don't physically I mean, just because like you play the game doesn't mean you have the first clue of what to do when someone hands you a fucking rifle.
Right,
You go to pull the trigger and you're like, it's not firing. You're like, it's not cocked. You got the safety on.
Yeah.
Did you load it right?
VR is going to change that, though, where you'll actually have to, like, reload the guns and stuff.
Yeah, but even then, it's just, let me wave my hand. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to pull it off the screen real quick.
Well, the flight simulator, yeah, you're not, like, flipping all the switches. So, like, that would be, like...
No,
a
but
little
you're
difficult.
pushing the buttons on there to
You're
flip
pushing
the switches.
buttons, yeah.
But,
But
I mean,
it's
the difference is between a touchscreen button versus a toggle flip. That's not a huge jump, dude.
Yeah, I think I can figure out the difference.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because things are still in the right places, so you know you just got to like lever
like-
this thing up
yeah,
and
yeah,
put
like
something
just-
here.
yeah.
Reloading magazines is that takes a little bit of practice.
Yeah, but not
Yeah, I
even
love it.
that.
Oh, I
just,
got
like,
ammo.
holding an actual gun and like properly aiming it while moving, and if someone's actually trying to kill you, just being calm in that situation. Like
Yeah.
people act like they would just be cool with that. Like, oh yeah,
Like,
dude.
have you ever tried to put bullets in like a clip? Like
It's
it takes
so hard.
It takes so fucking
It's
long,
so
and
fucking
that
hard.
spring-loaded action is so like you're like,
do that little thumb thing. You're trying
Yeah.
to.
You're like build up calluses on your thumbs to be able to
dude,
get
when
them
you're
in
done
there.
when you're done putting bullets in clips, you look like your hands look like the thumb guys from Spy Kids.
Yeah.
You're just like
jacked.
all thumb.
What's up? Yeah, that shit is ridiculous. I've never.
And when you actually shoot a real gun, like at least for me, it's very jarring. Like you forget.
If you've
like,
never shot one before,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh,
My
yeah.
British friend shot. I took him shooting guns for the first time. I had these two friends from England, and they came to the U.S. We went on this cross country road trip, and we stopped by in Colorado. We drive up to like Mount, like Long's Peak or whatever, Pikes Peak, and we're up like 14,000 feet. There's no one around us, and we set up. One of my buddies. I don't know. Well, he was in the military, so he's got guns. Like not like a couple. Like he's got like a treasure trove of guns. Like
Isn't it funny when your military friends like come home and like you just go over their house one day and like just laying on the couch is their AR-15, like it's super modded out, like it's got the scope, it's got the handle, it's got the like the clips taped to each other but flipped, you know, and it's like this is the loadout for my Call of Duty avatar. Like
so this is the video game. Yeah.
One of my friends had a Call of Duty gun. It was like that, like rectangular, like plastic one with a very long barrel on the front of it. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
It's like very tiny that you hold up to it. Yeah,
One of
it's
the
very
guns
strange
that-
to see him in real life.
One of the guns that my buddy had. You remember the original Halo with the
Yeah.
sniper rifle on Halo? He had that exact sniper rifle.
Oh, the 50 cal.
Yeah, the 50. I think it's the 270.
Oh,
the one, he had one of those. So we set it up, tripod on the ground, and everything like we were playing Halo. And my British friend, the first time he shot a shotgun, bro, he was shook. He was like,
Oh, yeah,
he
that'll
wanted,
hurt.
bro, he wanted no part of that whatsoever. After that, I think he probably
He's
shot
probably
like.
holding it all like limp dick and like, the trigger and it just
Bro, it just
kicks
sla-
him in the chest.
Oh.
Yeah, that if you're not holding it right, that shit will fuck you up.
Seen the videos of the guys like shooting guns and then like the recoil comes back, smacks him in the face, and they start bleeding everywhere.
Do you know when one has the biggest kick is like the 38 special, the revolver? Because
Yeah.
you think it's a tiny little revolver. It looks like and my friend had one and he's like shooting it like boom, like kick up. The one that has zero kick, fucking AR-15. That thing has zero. Holly, you could shoot that thing for fun. Holly would be like, yeah.
One arm in it sideways.
I'm straight up. My friend's little sister was with us. She was all of 5 foot, weighs 95 pounds. And she was like, I like this. I'm like, this is why this should be illegal. Not because I care about guns, because it's just too easy. Like, you should at least feel something when you
It
shoot
is
a
a
gun.
dope rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite convenient.
My friend had a short barrel AR-15. We took it to the range, and it was so fucking murderous. Everyone turned their heads like, "What do you got over there, dude?"
The gun ranges are such weird things because everyone's so just, oh shit, yeah, I could fuck somebody up. I like it's this like whole level of just.
Like you're hearing one type of sound, but then with a short barrel rifle, it's so loud. Like everyone turned their heads. They're like, "What the fuck does this guy have over here?"
I feel like when the people go to the range and they like take out like their toys, you know, and they like walk around, and they're just like showing off, like, yeah, if this was an apocalypse right now, bro,
Yeah.
You'd be dead. You'd be dead.
Be fucking killing it, dude.
You'd be killing, man.
But it's funny when you're talking about people in the military having guns. Before I moved into my place now, I was staying with my one of my friends, and I met him through another friend, and he had like an open room, and I needed a place. And I went over there, and he's in like the guard or whatever. So just sitting in the house, first thing I walk in there, just an AR-15 there. There's like a Glock on the table here and another gun case somewhere there. I'm just like, oh, let's see what's in this. I'm like, oh shit. My brother comes through. He's like, fuck, dude. He's taking a picture with it and shit.
He's like, dude, I have to tell mom you joined a gang. You know, like, he's playing with firearms, mom. I think I smelled marijuana. Like,
yeah, that's a tough, fucked up combination to sell weed and have. I guess you kind of need both: sell weed and have guns.
That seems like it matches up.
Yeah, weed is kind of like
Maybe
weed
not.
has gotten too mainstream now. Like everyone smokes weed; it's legal in a lot of places. Like I feel like guns are now more like cocaine related. Like,
yeah, I mean, I sold weed for a long, long time in California. Like after high school, I mean, I never had any firearms. Like,
yeah.
Because if someone steals your weed, like they're not gonna get a very big profit off of it.
well, back then, I mean, back
Yeah.
in like when we graduated, like high school. I mean, that was when weed was at its like
The primo.
That's like the 66,000 Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Selling fucking eights for like $75. and
Crip
shit.
walking.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
buying Ace of Kind Bud for like $60 or something.
yeah. That weed prices were crazy back then.
Yeah.
I remember when because I didn't start smoking weed till I got to college, and I was like, oh, cool. And I'd pay like $30, $40 an eighth. I remember in like 2011, I went to New York and we were staying at some summer camp. And this dude was like, oh, yeah, this shit's fire. He's trying to charge like $70 an eighth. I was like,
Was it NYC Diesel?
I'm like, bro, are you serious? Sour D's? I was like, and everyone's like, yeah, dude, this is what people pay out here. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. $70 an eighth? I'll fight you right now, dude. This is some bullshit.
I'll just take it from you.
Yeah, dude.
Take this. I'll fight you for some stress.
This is a good day to die today.
Dude, that where I lived, I had a friend who worked up in a very, very famous park. And we'll just leave the names out for legal reasons, but he lived up there, and like I would go visit him like every 2 weeks, maybe once a month, you know. But like all the people that lived up there were from all over, and they all wanted weed, and like my buddy was like, well, my friend's coming, he sells weed and he'll bring some. And I would get order like every 2 weeks I'd get an order and like drive up into this park with like a half pound of weed. And it'd just be like federally, like as soon as you pass through the gates, like federally illegal, you know. And it's just like, dude, I would tax the fuck out of it, dude. Dude, instantly, like a $200 ounce would go. I'd be like $450, like straight up. And I'd get there and I'd show up to my buddy's cabin, and then like he'd to let everyone know I was there. Then we'd hang out in his cabin like for a couple hours. Everyone would come by, pick their stuff up. In 3 hours, I'd have money, and then no weed on me except for my personal smoke. And then we would just go hike in the park, and then I would leave, and it was great. It was tight.
That's a good gig. We one of my buddies, he lived up in like Santa Rosa, California, is where he's from, and then he had a cabin up in like Tahoe. So we used to go up there, but like one summer. We decided to drive back like a couple pounds back from Cali because back then like Cali bud was super cheap and we could just sling into Colorado for the low. So we're driving it back across the from Cali to Colorado, and we're going across I-10, and like we're the whole time we're chilling, we're cool, everything's great, we got it packed away. But at some point we reach this place where like the road starts like going off, and then we see up ahead there's a fucking checkpoint. And we got pounds of weed in the car before it's legalized. Yeah. We're sitting there sweating, bro. We're going through this thing. We're like, all right, just be cool. I don't know anything. Whatever. Just be cool. We're just like, all right, cool. So we get in there, and, the police come to the window, bro. I'm just like, oh, shit, man. I'm sitting in the passenger seat because I've had some fucked up experiences before in cars, sitting in the passenger seat. Like, straight up being, one time my friend got pulled over and they tried to arrest me out of the passenger seat. Like, shit like this has happened on multiple occasions. So I'm sitting there, I'm sweating bullets. And the police come through. They're just like, okay. They ask us, where you guys going? We're like, oh, we're going back to Colorado. We're going back to school, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, you have all this stuff? We're like, yeah, we're moving back into whatever. He's like, all right, cool. They look around, check out the car, look at us, and they just let us go through. Bro, we just drove. We didn't say anything for like a full 2 minutes. We just drove off. We drove the next corner. We exited. We're just like, we're just like breathing. We pulled off into this dirt trail and smoked a fat ass blunt. We just got super high. But
we almost got caught. Like, you know what? Let's draw some more attention to us.
That shit was. But that semester was probably one of the most semesters of fun we had. We just came back and slanged just a shit ton of weed. It was a good time back then, but now,
It was,
yeah, there's you can't find profits.
I
like
think
that.
my favorite thing to do though, when I was like selling weed and like I was just known for having a lot of like weed and drugs and stuff, is like I would like be with friends or girlfriends or something at the time, and it's just like we would drive through checkpoints, and when I didn't have anything in the car at all, and then like as soon as I see the checkpoint, I'm like, oh, there's a checkpoint, and then they'll be like, what? I was like, I've got like a kilo of coke in the trunk, and they're like, what the fuck, Nick? And I'm like, I'd wait till we're like too far to turn away from it, like we'd be going through it, and there's nothing in the car, but just to see people flip, because they know what you do to make money, Nick. You're just like, I've got so much cocaine and weed in the trunk right now. Like, oh my god, I hope they don't smell anything. Like, oh my god, we drive by, like, you see those dogs, and they're like, and they're just, and then I just like wave to the cop, and they're like, come on through, and then just like pass through, and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe that. I was like, what? And like, we just got away with it. Got away with what? Like, you with all that stuff in the trunk? There's nothing in the trunk. Like, fuck you, Nick.
Bro, you would have got me, bro. I'd be sitting there shook. When I was working out in Spain, one of the guys that came on, he brought like an ounce of weed with him to Spain. He went through customs with all this weed. I was like, how'd you get on this? He's like, yeah, just mixed a bunch of weed in there. Apparently, like, they can't smell shit or whatever. But I got to be friends with this guy, and he used to be in the military, and he had to spend 3 years in Leavenworth military prison because they got caught smoking weed on the military base.
Oh, man.
And then everybody ratted him out and blamed him for all the weed. So he had to spend like 3 years in prison for weed in a military prison. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Where's that prison located?
It's in Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Oof.
Yeah, so 3 years in fucking federal military prison for fucking weed.
Yeah.
That's a prison within a prison, because fuck Kansas.
Oh my god! I mean, not that he had anywhere to go.
Yeah, like-
he went outside. Fuck it, I'm gonna go back in.
Like you can live in Kansas or be in prison in Kansas. He's like, I'll take prison. I'll take prison.
They're like, yeah, they gave him the option. He just did the
You
time.
can either become a citizen of Kansas or just be in prison here for 3 years. I'll go with the prison.
You can become the mayor of Kansas.
Yeah.
Or-
I'll take prison. I really, yeah, Kansas is it's a shithole. I went to University of Kansas one time. That campus is popping.
Were you blacked out Ben Bow over there?
Oh, yeah. I didn't black out that night, thank goodness, but I was I was close.
Wait, you can turn this on and off?
Lights out. It's weird. When I black out, I just become a surfer dude. It's really weird. I black out. I'm like, side in. Super chill, bro. I don't know what it is.
Comes some white surfer named Seth. Like,
It's my
bro.
Bruh, dad. You fucking
I get
shred,
more hood when I'm drunk, and you get more white surfer dude when you're drunk.
Yeah, like apparently you can turn it on and off. It's yeah. I like to tell everybody that Jesse's Massachusetts top urban comic.
Top urban comic.
I'm the top urban comic, yeah.
Nice.
I say Austin's top urban. Anytime someone's like, "What do you want for your intro?" I tell them that, and most of the people will not.
They will never say it.
They're like, "Oh, that's funny. All right, I'll do that." And they're like, "This guy's funny. Give it up." I'm like, "No, dude, you asked me what I wanted for the intro."
Haters.
I look them in the eye. They say Austin's top urban comic.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least they tell you they're not going to say it. Versus you're like, how do you want to be brought up? I'm like, oh, Nicholas Ceppaglia, and they come up like, oh, give it up for Nick Ceppaglia. I'm like, you are just not listening to me, bro. Like,
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Do they always get Ceppaglia, or do they?
oh
kind of
no,
freestyle
they
it?
always fuck. I love when people fuck it up. It's the funniest because it's just like growing up with that name. Like, I was like just in school whenever like I was that kid when we had substitute teachers. Like,
Oh,
Nicholas here. Don't give me another fucking nickname for the year, okay? You know, like
Are you Italian? Is that what that is?
I
Yeah.
hope so.
Are you full Italian?
I'm like Italian and German and
Okay.
like some other European butt shit.
So,
Like,
Did you ever wear the Malouk? Were you that Italian?
oh no,
No.
not that Italian.
The what?
The bullhorn, the little gold. It looks like a
Oh.
little sperm.
The Italian horn?
Yeah.
I think my brother has one of those.
Oh no, I don't.
We're like 25% Italian, but my brother really likes
He
to
reps
embrace
the
the
Malouk?
Italian.
Nice.
He
You know what's
just
funny is,
denies
like,
all the other
I was
ones.
talking like after talking with my grandma, where I was asking her about like her mom and dad and grandparents and stuff, and I was like, I think I'm probably more like English German mutt with just like an Italian branding, you know. Like,
Yeah.
I just think I
Yeah.
just have the last name and
You're
a
like
little
Chris
bit of
Stefano.
yeah.
Turned out he's like very German.
Yeah.
There's always weird like that. Like I have a friend from Peru, but his last name is super German for no reason.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a reason. there's a big reason.
Oh,
His grandpa wasn't trying to die after. He wasn't trying to face the court after his horrible lapse in judgment during the 40s.
Think about it. That makes the most sense.
No, honestly, it's a real thing. A bunch of people left Germany and moved to like South America.
Oh
and
yeah, Argentina,
Argentina,
like,
the
South
whole
America,
There's like whole areas of there with like full German communities.
It was
there.
all the ones that didn't get hired by America, by NASA.
Yeah,
You know,
the
it's like,
rest of them are here.
like, I didn't get that internship at NASA.
Yeah.
I think we got to go to Argentina. Or I think we're gonna get in some trouble if we stay around Europe. You know.
Yeah, some of them also made the atom bombs, you know. So they were out here.
Oh.
Yeah, they had a lot of those motherfuckers, which is a weird thing that we just like to overlook just casually. That we did that, like we always like saying all these things about other people. Like, but what about? Don't worry about that. You know, just don't ask those types of questions. It's fine. Which
Whatever technology we got out of it, worth it, dude.
It's like the same thing about like when you. It's like if you've ever asked your parents like, "Why were we born white?" and they're just like, "Just don't worry about it. Just be thankful that we're the country with the atom bomb." Like, just,
I always ask that question. I was like, what is the difference? No one. It's a weird question to ask your parents about. Like, you're like, why are they so angry at the Negroes, Mom? My parents. You think I'm vague, Jesse? My parents are like the most vague people. They're just. My mom is like, Benjamin, do not ask those kind of questions. And then we never talked about it again.
Wait, so you never learned about slavery as a kid?
I didn't learn, not till I got to school. I didn't even learn the word nigga until I was probably in like 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And I was like, me and my brother were sitting on our fence, and our neighbors were some old white people. And they were like, I was like, should I call them niggas over the fence? My brother's like, do you even know what that means? I was like, not a clue.
well, I mean, this is kind of fucked up. But like my stepdad was just like a city worker, biker dude, biker clubs, all that stuff. His favorite word was the N-word. Like I knew it. I learned about it as a punchline to jokes that like he would tell me as like fucked up racist jokes as a child. Like I knew what the word meant before I understood what it did. So what it meant
really
socially,
meant,
kind of
right.
thing. And it was just like, man, it's like. And it's just like, that's your dad that like raised you since before you can remember. He still loves you and loves him, but it's just like as you get older, you're just like, man, my fucking stepdad was
Did he
racist.
tell all those like hacky black jokes?
Oh, all of them. Like
Yeah.
not just black, but just anything. You know, like like Jewish jokes. You know, just fucked up humor. I think that's and like because both my stepdad, and my real dad are both in my life. Like my entire life is just like my parents were just divorced and remarried before I have like any memories.
Yeah.
So I think that's like why my humor is kind of like the way it is, especially like on stage. Like I'll go up and do like silly one-liners and just silly stuff, but then also I have like that really fucked up dark side. And it's just like, because it's just like as a kid, the number one thing you could do in the world is make your dad laugh, you know.
Right.
So like you come home from school hearing like all the street jokes and stuff, and like I would tell my dad like all the silly ones, and I would tell my stepdad all like the fucked up ones, you know. And go back and
3rd
forth.
grader dropping in. Mom, listen with this thing.
You know, like I mean, that's just who he was, and there's no pass or it's not acceptable. But he's dead now, so I mean, you can't really do anything about it to him anyway.
Yeah,
So
well, shit.
Your real dad or your
my
stepdad?
my stepdad is
Oh,
he
okay.
passed away like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah,
shit.
tomorrow.
Happy anniversary.
Happy
I miss you, Dad.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I don't
Dad-anniversary.
I don't feel that.
I don't feel that energy, Nick. I think you should leave.
A
Like,
week before Father's Day. How come there's no Stepfather's Day? Be an interesting holiday.
I was doing all my dead dad jokes last night, and then I was like, "Oh wait, Happy Father's Day coming up, everybody."
yeah, it's funny. But I think that's why, like, even with like my jokes on stage, like, I'll do like really dark, silly jokes or really dark topic jokes, but say them in a silly like pun, like
Yeah, you
one-liner,
gotta goof them up, dude.
Because, like I said, like my stepdad's favorite punchline was like anything racist, and my real dad's favorite joke is like, you know how to make your dick 12 inches? You fold it in half. You know what I mean? Because we're like Italians and stuff.
Classic.
So it's like,
Classic.
so it's like that was like the dual worlds of comedy that I was living in,
Yeah.
like as a kid growing up.
I remember my dad and I watched Blazing Saddles when I was way too young to even understand that movie.
classic.
It's such a good movie.
It's so good.
But that, like, in the movie, you learn that the N-word is a bad word.
Yeah.
Because they're just, like, saying it to him so much.
Fellas, look what I found. Where the white women at? One of the funniest scenes in any movie I've watched in, like, ever. My dad had a terrible sense of humor. He had zero sense of humor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like,
that's bad.
he not even like in a bad way. He was just like an obliviously literal person.
Oh.
You
Like,
said your dad was funny, but, like, not on
he was
purpose.
unintentionally funny. Like, he
Yeah.
was never trying to be funny. He was just like obliviously literal.
Yeah.
Like, everything, he just like took it at face value for what people said.
He never tried to crack jokes when he was, like, preaching or
No,
anything?
he never really
He was
like.
a preacher.
Yeah, I grew up in a very religious household. But yeah,
So he's a very literal guy, but his job is talking about something that's
He's
not-
translating
it's
it,
just like
interpreting
figuratively-
something.
figuratively.
figured there's so much irony in this
Yeah.
life.
He's a very literal guy, but he believes in something that's literally not proven real. Like,
Hey, in his mind, it was as real as could be. I know because he tried to beat it into me. He really.
oh man, the belt.
That's pretty funny. You said your dad wasn't funny. That's hilarious.
He's like, yeah.
He got the belt.
No, he used to do what's called. He had this thing in Lingala. We call it the tio, which was like a.
The switch?
Not even. It was a piece. You remember those like an industrial like water hose, like the black ones.
That goes into your
A
washing machine?
he beat you with a garden hose. Yeah,
It was like
sucks.
one of those, but it was like a piece of that was cut off.
Damn.
And he used to use that as the tio.
Fuck.
I got whipped
Thick
two.
black rubber?
Yeah, I got whipped with that 2 times in my life. It was
What
enough.
did that word translate to?
Like tio, like the hose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's
Explains
probably
why you love the
the
hose.
hose. Exactly, I'm a big fan of the hose.
But you don't
because
like
of-
the black hose because
Yeah.
I'm scared of the ones. I'm
Okay.
scared of those ones. Brought a lot of punishment and pain.
I used to get spanked with the belt when I would fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
pretty regularly. I was a maniac as a kid though. Like just a little terrorist.
I look at the psychological torture. I had to sit. I got time out, but it was like I had to sit in a chair and stare at the clock, and I couldn't move for like 2 hours.
Oh,
That's
sucks.
a lot.
Yeah.
My
That's a
parents
long
used to make me
time.
write, like, give me sheets of paper, and they're like, "All right," and they'd write out the first sentences, like, "I will not talk back in school," and I had to like fill all sheets of those papers front and back before my punishment was over. And it's like, and sometimes, and like the older I got, like, I remember when I was like in first grade, it was like, you got to do 10 pages. And you're like, oh, 10 pages, and then like when I got to like high school, it was like. Like here's like a whole thing of fucking binder paper.
You're like
There you
Bart
go.
Simpson.
Yeah, it was like yeah, that's why I like The Simpsons. I think that's where they got the idea. Like,
They're just like this
just
little.
like-
God, no, that was the worst punishment I ever had. Wasn't from my parents; it's from my older sisters. Because when I was a kid, like my parents used to work, and so my sisters kind of like raised us. But I was like probably
Sibling punishments.
yeah. My sisters used to make me and my little sister because they're like 15 years older than us.
Okay.
It's like a
so
big
they're
age
like
difference.
they're still like they're your brother and sister, but they're legitimately an authority figure. Like,
Well,
in your
yeah. So
life.
that's like it's weird now because like now, well, like 13 years apart, but like now that I'm like in my 30s, like we're like we see eye to eye, like we can have like conversations as adults, but like when you're 6 years old and they're 20 or whatever, like you're just a kid.
That's so big.
Yeah, it was everything, and they used to make us do this punishment where you just sit on your knees on the ground for extended periods of time, and it doesn't sound like much, but like you're just sitting on your knees.
yeah, that
Bro, you do this for like 10-15 minutes, I swear you're gonna be like, I hate this every moment of this, like it's miserable.
Yeah.
But yeah, they used to do that because they didn't, which is down and like we don't like to beat you, but we like to do this, which
lay you down and just tie you down, just like one drop at a
Just-
time.
yeah, just let
that
the water drip.
just right on your forehead and make you go crazy.
Chinese water torture.
Yikes.
One time my brother spilled something. I think like we were staying home by ourselves for some reason. I think he was like 13 and I was like 12. Wait, no, I was like 11. And he like spilled something everywhere and he like just like threw a roll of paper towels at me. He was just like, clean that up. And he like made me clean it up and then he kept calling me Cinderella the whole time. It was
Did
great.
you actually clean it?
Yeah, I was like crying. I was like, I didn't even
See, my
do
little
this.
brother was different, like, because we were 4 years apart, but he also, so I was just old enough to where, like, I could physically hurt him, but he couldn't hurt me, like, our whole lives kind of thing.
Right.
And it was like, but he knew that, like, if I hurt him, like, all he had to do was cry, and then I get my ass beat by the belt or something.
Right.
But dude, he was such an antagonist. He would do shit to me all the time, like, especially, like, when we're at home by ourselves, like during summer vacation, he'd, like, fuck something up and be like, I'm telling mom you did that. And I'm like, God damn it. You know, like just like extort the shit out of me.
Well,
and,
at this point, I might as well be Chaz. You know, I'm already going to get beat anyways.
yeah, but he would do that shit all the time. Like he wouldn't, like my parents had this, or stepdad had this thing where it's like with the chores and everything, it would be like, we had hours of chores that we had to do before we got home, or when we got home from school, and then they wanted us to start our homework. They didn't want us to do our homework, because we had to do all these chores. But like, if one of us didn't do our chores, we both got grounded.
Oh shit!
And like, I was like in high school, and I had like shit to do. I was going skating with friends, and like you know, and so he just wouldn't do any of the shit, and I'd have to do like everything. But there's times I got him back and stuff like that, like. And there was like a breaking point, like he was trying to show off in front of his, he was like right at like 8th grade thinking he's tough shit, you know, like he's about to transfer to high school, and like he had his friends over, and he's trying to like, he did something. He was talking shit and trying to be like a big man in front of his friends, and then like I literally just grabbed him by his like head, and I just started like just bitch slapping him like this in front of all of his friends. And he started, and I just wouldn't let him go. And he's like, "Stop it, Nick, let me go." I was like, "No, just dude, you got it." I was like, "You can't do this to me." And like, you think I'm not because your friends are here? And he was just like, he started crying, got super pissed, and then like my mom and like my dad was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And my mom was like on the other side of the yard, and she saw like the whole thing, which like I didn't even know she was there. But then like mom was like, "No, he deserved that," and my dad was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I was like, whew, because I knew an ass beating was coming after that, dude. Like,
before you go, we do a segment called it's Repressed Memory Monday. So we release the podcast on Mondays, and so it's like a funny but like embarrassing or just like, I guess traumatic, but like light traumatic, like childhood story.
Okay.
Moment in time.
Yeah, slapping your brother is too fun.
Yeah, let's do fun.
That's
okay.
for him.
So we were like in the 5th grade, and we were like flag football tryouts were coming out, and like all my friends were going for tryouts. I was like, yeah, I'll go try out and like play, because we played at recess all the time, and it's just like, yeah, sure, I'll go try it out. So before the tryouts are, it's after school, and we're playing and just tossing the ball around and like doing diving catches and stuff. And my friend throws it, and I run and I go to dive, but he threw it, and like I wasn't looking where I was going, and I dove head first into one of those steel metal slides, you know?
The ones that they had in the playground when we were kids.
When we were kids.
The ones that get all hot when
the
it
ones
was
that get super fucking hot.
You slide down.
Dude, diving catch like this, head first into it, put a dent in the thing, got a massive concussion. They took me to the nurse's office, and like my mom was at home, like she was at home like laying in the pool, and like they like for some reason they called my real dad. My dad was working. They couldn't get a hold of him. They tried calling my stepdad. Couldn't get a hold of him because he was working. And I was like in the nurse's office for like an hour and a half with like a massive concussion. And then finally, they like called they're like, well, let's just try the house. And they called the house, and my mom was answered. And then I ended up having to go to the hospital and like sit in the hospital all night. But like the worst part about it was like I was like out of school for a couple of days, and then like the day I went back is when they posted up like who made the team, you know, like on our class door, and like I was just like I was walking by and I looked at it just to see who made the team, stuff like that, and I looked and I was just like looking at it, and my teacher comes up and goes, yeah, you had to make it. You had to come to tryouts to make it on the team, you know. And I was like, man, fuck you, bro.
It's bullshit.
Like bullshit. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck school sports. Fuck school sports. I'm gonna continue playing my little outside of like it was like an independent league, baseball league, like for kids and stuff. And
yeah,
and a couple years later, I found skating.
All your friends are like, we made the team.
We made the team, Nick. Did you make the team, Nick? I was like, I didn't show up to tryouts. Like,
I did,
don't you remember? I was fucking.
I left early.
I got sacked before I get the ball off.
Well, shit, man. I guess that's about wrap this up.
Yeah.
What do you have going on? Where can people find you? What do you got? Any projects? Anything you want to plug? Anything like that?
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. It's all under Nick Fitzwell. That's spelled with a Z, because no one can spell Ceppaglia. Drinking Coffee with Nick is my show I put on once a week. Like it's usually Friday or Saturdays it comes out. I've got Playing Pussy with Matt and Nick podcast on Spotify. That's just where me and my roommate Matt Amos, we just get together and talk about like what we did that week for comedy wise, talk about the scene.
Is he a comedian?
Yeah, he's a comedian. Yeah.
I probably know him. It's probably embarrassing for me to say.
Yeah, he's been around. He's been here as long as I have, but he's introverted. He doesn't come out as much, you know.
Okay.
But
how long have you been in Austin now?
Since November.
Okay.
So I think it's just almost 6 months now.
All right, so you got here when I was gone.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of people that came in while I was gone for 3 months.
Oh, okay.
I was gone from September to December.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, that's when I came in.
2 shifts in the night, baby.
That's right.
Hey.
Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much drinking coffee with Nick on YouTube. I don't have any shows coming up right now, so
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, Or I got one in August, but I don't know the details on that. Other than that,
That's very far away.
yeah, it's so far away. Yeah. So I was like,
Oh, Holly said you guys did that weed festival together.
Oh,
we did.
yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. That was the first time we got to hang out.
Yeah.
It was chill.
The
Hell yeah.
fashion show.
The fashion show, yeah.
You
we
guys both
rocked
did
it.
the fashion show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jose gave me this like fuzzy vest, and I would not take it off for like, the whole night.
What was your outfit, Nick?
I wore a poncho
It's
with
like a drug rug?
yeah, drug rug, or it was a blanket that was turned into a poncho.
Yeah.
And then he gave me a mink vest that was too small to fit anybody. It was like a child's vest.
Wait, I thought that was the one I was wearing, the mink
No,
vest.
you had the brown one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one was that gray thing that he
Oh.
took it and just tied it around my neck.
Oh, okay. I remember this now.
It was like a neck guard, and I just wore that, and I put my glasses on, and I went out, and I fucking posed it up. And,
dude.
It was tight.
So
Fierce.
handsome.
Yeah, it
You're
was-
tiger, you're angry girl. Give it to me,
I
baby.
give him that blue steel, you know.
Well, shit, man. Thanks for joining us, bro. Appreciate
Thanks
you.
for having me.
Hey,
All right. Bye,
we
guys.
love y'all too.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.